He gave everything to his family until he lost his job. His wife walked away with one of their children and called him a phony. Left with nothing but pain and a little daughter who refused to leave his side, he began carrying blocks just to survive. Why did his wife return when it was too late? Did he forgive her or close the door forever? Hi, dear viewers. Stay with me as we dive in this emotional story. Don't forget to tell us where you're watching from. Like and subscribe for more stories like this. Ben always believed that if you gave the world your best, it would return the favor. In his small but comfortable apartment in Yaba, Lagos, Ben lived a quiet life with his wife Lily and their two children, Jake and little Ella. He wasn't a rich man, but he had everything he thought mattered: a stable job, a close-knit family, and peace in his heart. He worked as a senior logistics supervisor at a popular supply company based in Victoria Island. It wasn't glamorous work, but it paid well enough. Each morning, Ben dressed in his neatly ironed shirt and tie, kissed his children goodbye, and left home before the city traffic thickened. He was the kind of man who paid bills early, greeted neighbors by name, and still found time to buy suya for the kids on his way home. At home, his wife Lily appeared content. She wore the latest lace styles, always had her nails done, and never lacked data to stay on Instagram. To outsiders, they were a model family. But behind closed doors, cracks had begun to form. Ben, I don't understand why you still haven't gotten us a house on the island, Lily would say, arms folded, lips pursed. We're comfortable here, Ben would reply gently. We don't need to impress anyone. But I want more, Lily insisted. Other women are driving Benz. Their husbands are not smarter than you. Ben would laugh it off and pull her into a hug. You're my queen. When the time is right, we'll have more. For now, let's build slowly. She didn't always smile back. Still, Ben gave and gave. When his cousin Mike needed money for surgery, Ben transferred his savings without hesitation. When his old friend Sam lost his job, Ben got him a contract in his company. Even when his church needed support for the youth outreach, Ben was the first to sign a check. On that day, it was Lily's birthday, Ben walked inside the room. Babe, I have a surprise for you. Close your eyes. Lily closed her eyes, and Ben walked her outside the compound. Babe, you can open your eyes now. She opened. It was a brand new red Benz. Wow. Yes. Yes, she said, hugging him tight. You are such a sweet husband. I love you so much. Jake stands at the corner of the house smiling. Ella is busy dancing around the car. Their house was full with joy and celebrations. Neighbors came. They eat and drink, enjoying the good thing that happened. Ben was busy celebrating, not knowing that something bad was on the way coming. He believed in people. He believed in love. And he believed that when you do good, good would follow you. Then came the audit. One cloudy Thursday afternoon, Ben was summoned to the director's office. The air felt thick. His heart raced. Ben, the director said, voice cold. We're investigating some discrepancies in your department's expenses. Until this is resolved, we're suspending you without pay. Ben blinked. Sir, there must be a mistake. I run every report by the finance team. We'll be in touch, the director said, turning to his computer. Just like that, everything stopped. Ben left the office numb. On his way home, he tried calling Lily, but she didn't pick. When he finally walked into the house, his shirt soaked from the rain, Lily stood at the center of the living room with her hands on her hips. What happened to you? She asked. He sat down, slowly. I've been suspended. They think I mess up the books. But I didn't, Lily. I swear. She scoffed. So what does that mean? No more salary. "It's just temporary," he said. "They'll clear me. I'm innocent." Lily turned away. "Innocent or not, this family needs money. I can't suffer with you." That night, Ben barely slept. He stared at the ceiling. His daughter Ella curled beside him, her tiny hand wrapped around his finger. Jake slept in his room, unaware of the storm rising. Days turned into weeks. Then a month. No call came from the company. Ben reached out to old friends, Sam, Mike, even his pastor. Sam said he was in Ghana. Mike didn't return his calls. The pastor promised prayers. Rent was overdue. One morning, their landlord knocked. "Ogre Ben," the landlord began, arms folded. "I've been patient, but this is business. If you can't pay, you have to leave." Ben begged for time. The landlord gave him 3 more days. Lily exploded that evening. "I'm tired. Ben, what kind of man are you? Look at us. No light, no food, nothing. You let this happen." "I'm trying," he whispered. "No," she spat. "Trying isn't enough." "But, babe," Ben said, "can we just sell the car I bought for you on your birthday? At least we can eat and pay house rent while I wait for the company's call." "What?" "My car. You want to sell my car. That won't happen. I'm leaving this house for you. Lily." She packed 2 bags and grabbed Jake by the arm. "Mummy, where are we going?" Jake asked. "To a place where real men live," she said. Ben stood frozen at the door. "You're leaving with my son." "You have nothing, Ben, not even the car." Ella cried, clinging to his leg. "Ella, come," Lily called. But the girl shook her head. "No, I'll stay with Daddy." Lily turned and walked out. The next day, there was a knock at the door. Bam! 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 "Ben, open." "Are you Mr. Ben?" "Yes," Ben said. He gave him a brown envelope from Lily. He said, "Ben," opened. It was a divorce paper. Ben, stand at the corner of the room with no option. He'd bring out his phone and video his television, furniture chairs, and post online for sale. Serious buyer needed urgent. In a short hour, a man called. "Hello, are you the owner of the properties?" "Yes," Ben said. "I'm interested in buying them." He sent him his house address. "How much?" "Are you selling it?" 1 million naira, sir," Ben said. And the man asked, "How much last?" 800,000 naira. "I will pay 700,000. Deal." "Okay. Call your account." Ben called his account. "Done. I have sent it." He showed him the screen. Ben phone buzzed. It was the alert. 700,000, he smiled. Now he has hope. They carried the properties and left. The house was empty. With only Ben and Ella, the evening Ben went to the mall to buy foodstuff. He picked some stuff and gave his debit card to pay. "So you don't have such amount?" The young lady said. "The card is insufficient funds." "What?" "No. Check well. There's 700,000 naira in the account." He brings out his phone and checks. There's nothing in the account. It's fake. The transfer the man did was fake. Ben, try to call him with the number he used to call, but it's not connecting. The number 2 is fake. He went home that night empty-handed. "I was duped," he said, sitting on the floor. Ella joined him. They both sat at the floor. That night, they slept with empty stomachs. It was the first time Ella slept with an empty stomach. The days that followed, Ben and Ella were thrown out. It was raining. Everything they owned fit into 2 black nylon bags. Ben held Ella close, shielding her with his body as they stood under a leaking shed in Ohota. He had no plan, no money, no help. But he had Ella, and Ella had him. That was the night the story changed. Ben and Ella spent the first night on a wooden bench under a makeshift shelter beside a closed mechanic shop in Ohota. The rain didn't stop. It dripped through the rusted zinc and soaked his shirt. Ella slept curled on his lap, shivering quietly. He held her tighter, whispering a story about a lion who lost his pride but found a crown in the forest. It was all he could offer, stories and warmth. By morning, his back ached. His legs were numb. He hadn't eaten in almost 2 days, but Ella's needs came first. He found a small kiosk and asked the woman for plain bread and sachet water. "N.A. 200 naira," she said. "I only have N 100 naira," he whispered. She looked at him, then at Ella beside him, her hair uncombed and her dress stained from the mud. With a sigh, the woman nodded. "Take 'em, but no be every time." "God bless you," Ben said, tears prickling. He and Ella sat by the roadside and ate in silence. As the days passed, Ben looked for work anywhere he could. He walked from Ohota to Quito every morning, asking at shops, parks, car washes. Nothing. Nobody wanted a middle-aged man in worn-out shoes. Most didn't even look up when he spoke. Then, on the 4th morning, he passed a construction site. Men were loading cement. One slipped and yelled, and a bag burst on the ground. Ben walked over instinctively and helped them gather the spilled mix. "You day strong, oh," one of the workers said. Ben smiled faintly. "I just need something to do." "UWA and carry block." He hesitated. His back still ached from sleeping on a bench. But he nodded. "Yes, I'll do anything." They gave him a yellow helmet, a reflective vest full of holes, and a pair of gloves with one finger missing. His first pay was 5,000 naira after 10 hours of lifting blocks and pushing wheelbarrows. He didn't complain. That night, he bought rice and stew for Ella. They shared it on a plastic tray behind a quiet stall. "Daddy, are we going home soon?" she asked. Ben smiled, brushing her hair. "Soon, my star. We'll find our place again." They started sleeping at the back of a half-completed building, near the site. It was dusty, but it had a roof. He used his jacket as a pillow. Ella used his chest. One Sunday morning, while sweeping the small space, Ben saw her. Nina. She was a tailor he once helped back in Yaba when her shop caught fire. She looked surprised, then confused. "Ben, what happened to you?" He didn't know what to say. He just smiled. She looked at Ella. "Is that your daughter?" "Yes, this is Ella." Nina sighed. "You helped me when I had nothing. Please, let me help, even if it's small." She gave them a bag of foodstuff, gari, beans, oil, and a small amount of cash. It was more than just help. It was dignity. For the first time in weeks, Ben didn't feel invisible. With that small support, he enrolled Ella in a public school nearby. Every morning, he walked her there before going to the site. The other workers laughed at him. "NAU Day carry Peking Go school," one of them mocked. "Yes," Ben replied, "NA my daughter." They didn't understand why he smiled with pride. As the weeks became months, Ben became stronger. His arms thickened. His skin darkened under the sun. He no longer cried at night. He hummed Ella instead, told her stories about the moon, about Lagos, about how kings sometimes hide in rags. One day, the site supervisor noticed him. "You day work like person we graduate," he said. "I studied accounting," Ben said. The man chuckled. "And now you day mix cement." Ben nodded. "Life is not straight, but I'm still on the road." That evening, as he washed his hands by a leaking pipe, a familiar voice called his name. Ben. He toned. It was Mike, the same Mike he had helped secure a job years ago. Mike looked shocked. His car, a dark SUV, was parked nearby. "What are you doing here?" Mike asked. "I'm working." "As a laborer." Ben said nothing. Mike removed his sunglasses. "Ben, I just resumed at the company's new HQ in Ibizulecki. I heard about the audit months ago. They blamed you." "Yes. They cleared everything last week. It turns out the problem came from another department. You didn't see the letter." Ben blinked. "No, I've been... Hey." Mike nodded slowly. "They've been trying to reach you. They want you back." Ben didn't know whether to cry or laugh. He felt numb. That night, Ben didn't sleep. Ella lay beside him, her head on his arm. He stared at the unfinished ceiling, whispering, "Thank you, God. Thank you." The next morning, he wore his best shirt, washed and ironed by hand. Nina helped Ella pack her books. She hugged Ben and said, "Your light still shines, brother." He and Ella boarded a bus to Ibizulecki. As the city passed by, the traffic, the danfos, the endless honking, Ben held his daughter's hand tightly. They didn't speak much, but their silence was full of hope, full of healing, full of something new. Ben stood outside the tall glass building in Ibizulecki, staring up at the company's logo gleaming under morning sun. It felt like a dream. The security guard didn't recognize him at first, but once Ben gave his name, everything moved quickly. "Mr. Ben," the receptionist said, eyes wide. "Please, come in. The HR director has been expecting you." He stepped inside, Ella's small hand gripping his. She wore a yellow dress Nina had helped sew. Ben had polished his shoes until they gleamed, even though they still had cracks on the side. But no one looked at the cracks. Everyone looked at him with something new in their eyes, respect. Inside the office, the HR director rose from his chair with a big smile. "Ben, we owe you an apology. A big one." Ben nodded slowly. "Thank you for clearing my name. We've reviewed the audit. You were not at fault. The finance department missed an entire batch of reports. The board approved your promotion. Effective today, you're the new operations manager." Ben didn't move. For a moment, the words didn't register. Ella looked up at him and whispered, "Daddy?" He smiled at her. "It's okay, Star. Everything's okay." They handed him an envelope, his new salary package, housing allowance, an official car. He held the papers gently, like they might vanish. When he stepped outside the building, the company driver opened the door of a black Mercedes GLE 350. Ella gasped, "Daddy, is this your car?" Ben chuckled. "I guess so." They drove back to Ohota, back to the site where dust and cement still floated in the air. Ben walked to the site supervisor and shook his hand. "Thank you," he said, "for giving me work when I had nothing." The man smiled. "Go shine, Olga. You no be ordinary man." He returned to Nina's shop next. She was mending a gown when she saw the car pull up. She stood still, needle in hand. "I told you your light still day," she said, beaming. "I told you." He hugged her, grateful. "Thank you for feeding us when we were invisible." That evening, he moved into a clean, furnished two-bedroom apartment in Lekki Phase 2. The air smelled like fresh paint and lavender. Ella ran from room to room, screaming with joy, "Daddy, this is our house." He nodded, voice soft. "Yes, baby, this is home now." They sat on the floor and ate jollof rice from a take-out box. No mattress yet, but it didn't matter. They laughed through every bite. Ben looked around the room, blank walls and empty shelves, and felt more full than he ever had. By Sunday morning, news had spread like wildfire. People started calling Dot, even the landlord from Yaba. Everyone had something to say. "Ah, Ben, I heard you're back big. I knew you'd rise again. I was just about to call you last week. NA Network Whaler. You're a strong man. God really lifted you." Ben listened. He smiled. But deep inside, he remembered the silence when he needed help. He remembered walking in the rain, begging for bread. He remembered carrying blocks with blistered hands. He didn't speak of it. He just moved forward. One Thursday afternoon, there was a knock at the gate. The security man called him. "Ogre Ben, one Madam Day outside. She say she know you." Ben stepped out. It was Lily. She wore a fine wrapper, makeup carefully done, gold earrings shining. Ben's heart paused. "Ben," Lily began, eyes glassy. I heard everything." He looked at her, saying nothing. "I was wrong," she said. "I was scared. I didn't know what to do, but I've realized my mistake." "I want us to be a family again," Lily said. "I want to come back home. Jake misses you." Ben didn't say anything. He simply went straight inside and brought out a brown envelope and gave it to her. It was a divorce paper she sent to him after she left. "I have signed it," he said. Ben stepped forward. "As for Jake, I will be sending you money for his upkeep. If you're watching this, maybe you've fallen too. Maybe people have walked away. Maybe the weight of life feels too heavy to carry alone. But listen, you are not alone. Just like Ben, you can rise again. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. But if you hold on, if you take just one step, then another, your light will return. So here's what you can do right now. Share this story with someone who needs hope. Leave a comment below if you've ever been through a storm and came out stronger. We want to hear from you. And most of all, don't give up. Your story isn't over. The next chapter is still being written.